Hello, Gemini. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Gemini is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. If there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Gemini, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. We start with the universe card, or the world card. I feel like you've been waiting for something to come in, you know. I think that this is a card of delay. It feels as if there has been just kind of a listless feeling, you know, like we're just kind of floating here. We're kind of lost in space, yeah. And I wonder if we are waiting for something to conclude, or if we're waiting for something to arrive. We're waiting for maybe and some insight into which direction we should go. I feel like some of you are kind of feeling lost. Yeah. Some of you might even be feeling right now a sense of distance. You know, the universe is an expanding universe. So I feel like sometimes we can feel as if we're getting further and further away from either other people, or further and further away from our goals, or further and further away from our home or our destiny and that sort of thing. Okay? Let's put this card into a little bit of context, and let's see what else is going on for you this week. We have a Princess of Swords, a Five of Cups. We have an Empress, an Eight of Swords. We have a Strength card, Fortitude. We have Lust, yeah? We've got an Eight of Pentacles. We have a Six of Wands. Seven of Cups. Ooh, an Ace of Cups. Well, what we're waiting for, those of you that feel like you're waiting for something, it's coming in. Okay? It's coming in on a silver platter for you. Yeah? So this week, something's arriving that you've been waiting for. Okay? Let's select our mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. We're going to set it down right here with our little octopus friend, the Eight of Tentacles right there on top. We're not going to look at that card until the very end. It will tie everything together. It will give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. If at any moment during this message you feel like you might know what that card might be, put your prediction in the comment section below the video. Now, as we look around the room, we see 1, 2, 3 majors right in a row here, okay? So I feel like there is some divine timing taking place in your physical life, your human horizontal trajectory of life, you know? Our human existence. I feel like there is some divine timing that's taking place, yeah? I feel like something that you've been nurturing for a long time is finally going to take off. It's finally going to work. It's finally going to get off the ground. It's finally going to kind of mature, right? And I feel like it's going to lead to a lot of pride and a lot of celebration, a lot of passion for you. Okay, and it's so a lot of passion at work. Okay, so it may be a business that you're trying to get off the ground. It may be a relationship that we're really trying to get it going and really kind of get into the flow of things. Okay, so I like those 3 cards there. We've got fire, we've got water and water, air and air, earth and earth. Okay, you also have the Princess of Swords. I feel like this is a very curious energy. I feel like this is, in a way, if we're here lost in space, you know, this is you kind of searching for your path, searching for what's been missing. It's not like you've been just floating there in space saying, well, I guess I'm just going to be tumbling through time and space for all eternity. No, I feel like you've been putting in the work. You've been investigating, you've been asking questions, you've been looking around, you've been having conversations, you've been trying new things. This is the card of the student. Okay? I feel like some of you are kind of going back to square one in some aspect of life. I feel like this would be a very good week for you to start learning something new. If you're feeling kind of, I don't know, we think of the universe card as we feel like things have stalled or things have just gotten kind of empty, or, that we don't really have much of a sense of purpose or direction or something like this. It would be a very good time for you to explore new things, new ideas. Start researching a new subject. Go if you're, if you're in search of romance, start another profile or something like that, and send some messages out to people. Put in the work. Make an effort to communicate. Make an effort to learn new things, develop new skills. Challenge yourself a little bit. And this card kind of has the secret key there, right? Because the princesses of the tarot pages and sort of other decks are all about giving yourself permission. Okay? Giving yourself permission to not know the right answer. Giving yourself permission to not be good at something. Giving yourself permission to fail. Giving yourself permission to have an idea, even if it's the wrong idea. To have a thought, to say something, even if it's the wrong thing. So this week, do something that will demonstrate that. Do something where you're giving yourself permission to try, even if you say the wrong thing, even if the answer that you give is the wrong answer. Sending out a message, even if they don't respond, even if they leave you on read, even if they reject you or ghost you, who cares? Okay? Push yourself to do something that is a little bit risky, right? You have a thought, you feel there's something, you want to say something, just say it. Within reason, of course. We all have to kind of abide by a little bit of etiquette. But allow yourself to say whatever it is that you want to say. I feel for some of you there's a message that's like on the tip of your tongue that you want to say, you want to send the message, but you're not. You haven't yet. Consider doing it this week. Consider saying it. Give yourself permission to do it, even if it doesn't work out. Even if it doesn't resonate with the other person. Even if they don't respond. Even if they're like, huh? Even if they don't get it. Even if they have no response. That's okay. I think you'll feel better if you say it. If we look at the vertical axis here, these three cards, you're disappointed about something, and instead of ruminating on it, you're going to say something about it. You're going to communicate these feelings. Okay? For some of you, this is a disappointment that you've been kind of hiding underneath the surface, and while you're ruminating on it in your head, you need to actually find a way to communicate that. And it doesn't mean, if you're mad, you just go up to somebody and say, I'm mad, and you better listen to me. No, it's finding an effective way. Maybe a calm and gentle way to say, hey, I'm upset by something, and I need to tell you what that is, It doesn't have to be a demonstration of how mad we are, That might lead us over here to our strength card, where it needs to be, we need to be able to hold that energy back. If you're mad, you don't just have to roar at people, or lash out at people or have an outburst kind of thing. We need to be in control of our passions, It's discipline here with this card. But anyway, I think that this card is going to be important for a lot of us this week, to be able to communicate what's on our mind, to take a chance on our idea, to say the thing that we've been wanting to say, to communicate and express ourselves, even if we're going to be rejected or laughed at or misunderstood, even if what we say is the wrong thing. Okay? Because the Princess of Swords is the white belt, it's the student. And the student is supposed to give the wrong answers sometimes, If I were a teacher, and I'm not a teacher, I've never been a teacher, despite contrary, or public opinion, If I were a teacher, I'd rather have students raising their hand all the time, giving me the wrong answers, than someone who just sits in the back and quiet and they never say anything. I was that kid. I never said anything. I never wanted to raise my hand. I was always nervous about, saying the wrong thing. And I was very, very self-conscious as a kid. And I still am. Self-conscious, not a kid. No. But, I think that we can pull ourselves out of that a little bit and maybe just find one thing this week that we can do that'll help us to use our voice. Okay? Now, under the surface, 5 of Cups. Okay? That is a kind of an inner feeling, an inner swirling of emotions. Okay? For some of you, this is going to be a desire for something. Yeah. 5 of Cups is a card that's saying something should be here, but it's not. And I want it, and I want it to arrive. I want it to come in. So, this week we can ask ourselves, what is it that we want to have in our life that we don't have? And then how can we use our voice to ask for it, or to talk about it, to communicate that in some way? And I think in part when we have these swirling emotions, some of this Princess of Swords energy should be us trying to label that feeling. What are we feeling? Are we feeling sad, disappointed, frustrated? Are we feeling overwhelmed? Are we feeling, a deeper sadness, a melancholy? Are we in a mood? I mean, are we feeling angry? What is the feeling that we have? Maybe if we can identify it, but not identify with it, then it'll help us to communicate with ourselves about how we feel so that we can, as the lust card, strength card might be showing, we can regulate our emotions and our expression of those emotions. I think it'll help us to self-regulate. It'll help us to communicate our thoughts, opinions, our wants and needs, to the people around us that care about us. Okay. So I think there's also, with the 5 of Cups, there is someone may have let you down. Okay, and this may be something that needs to be communicated. It could be that this isn't anger. This is disappointment. Okay, I kind of feel like you were hoping for something, and it didn't show up yet. And there's that disappointment. It could be that you had some high expectations for somebody, and they didn't meet those expectations. Okay, that nothing is really terrible. Nothing's all bad, but just feeling let down by something. Okay, and some of you might be feeling as if you're that person. Sometimes we feel like we let ourselves down. Like, I thought I would do better, but I didn't do better. So I feel disappointed in myself sometimes. Okay. And I think it's important that we take this week to acknowledge that and not let it linger. The worst thing is for this 5 of Cups to be under the surface and for it to never go anywhere else. Because it'll stay in here and it'll linger, and guess what? It'll fester. And it'll turn into a 7 of Cups over here, or worse, it'll turn into a 9 of Swords, especially since we have the 8 of Swords already. So we have to be able to feel how we feel right now. And I think a lot of you are going through some emotional awareness right now. I don't know why, it feels like everywhere I look, there are people that are like talking about emotions and talking about like, how do we talk about emotions and how do we identify what we're feeling? How do we take a step away from our emotions so we can look at it and say, that's what I feel, but this isn't me. Okay, so we're identifying the emotion, we're labeling it, but we're not identifying with it. We're not labeling ourselves, we're labeling the emotion. Right now, I'm confronted with this feeling of, whatever it is. Disappointment, sadness, maybe you're missing somebody. Okay, I kind of feel, some of you feel, there's like a homesick kind of feeling going on. Okay. And it may be homesick for a place that you don't even know where it is, what it is, why you feel that way. It could be homesick for your like your real home. I feel like a lot of you are trying to put down some roots right now somewhere. And it may be that we're looking for that permanent place. I want to find the place where I just belong, you know, where this is it, and this is where I want to stay, and this is where I want to I want to plant the apple tree in the yard because I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to be here forever, you know. Whether it's a job or a relationship or like a group of friends or a club you want to join, or, you know, a team of some kind. Or if it's, you know, if it's a romantic situation, or if it's literally the home, yeah, or the career or something along those lines. Kind of finding that place that we want to call home, yeah. Anyway, the Five of Cups. You also have an Empress energy, okay? I feel like you are very much into a nurturing kind of thing where there is something that you want to take care of things, you know, you want to like devote your energy to something and see it grow. Yeah. And I think a lot of you already are, a lot of you, because this is in the past position, I think a lot of you already have something in the oven, and we're just waiting for it to be done so that we can enjoy it. Okay? Whatever that might be for you, whether it's an idea that you're incubating, whether this is a family thing, it's a creative project, or this is like you're already, something's already in motion, and I feel like there's this waiting, a sense of like, what do I do while I wait? Okay? Well, maybe it's a good time to start exploring our emotions and talking about our feelings and asking for what we want and trying new things and just keeping ourselves busy with our curiosity while we wait. Okay, so that might be part of that. The Empress is a card of really like suffering, sacrifice, bending over backwards for something, and really giving yourself completely over to something else, you know, putting in the blood, sweat, and tears for what you really want, okay? And I think this, in some ways, this could be the source of some disappointment for some of you, because I feel like for some of you, there's something you gave yourself to. You gave all your energy to it, time, effort, energy, money, space, the blood, sweat, and tears, right? You gave everything you had to something. And I feel like you're kind of waiting for like something to come back. You're waiting for an acknowledgement, a thank you, a hug. You know, you're waiting for some sort of like, you know, some sort of recognition even. Or even just a thank you. And I know that, you know, you're not doing the things in your life for the recognition. You're not always doing it for the gratitude. Okay, the Empress is like the cosmic mother, right? Is just taking care of the kids because that's what you do. You don't need a medal. You don't need the gratitude and the love, but you know what? It's kind of nice when it shows up, and it kind of hurts when it doesn't. Because we're human after all, right? I mean, I think most of us at least. So I feel a lot of you are kind of waiting for the favor to be returned, but like not asking for what we need. The one thing about the Empress is that it will silently give and give and give and give and give. And doesn't always ask for, say, hey, I'm hungry too, or I'm thirsty too, or I need some nourishment, I need some rest, I need some healing too. So this week, start asking for what you need. A little bit, within reason. Start slow if you have to. But be aware of how you feel. This card's also about physical body awareness, sensuality, right? Feel yourself, you know? How do you feel internally? And in your skin, in your body, how do you feel? Pay attention to your body and what it needs. Do you need some moisture? Are your hands dry? My hands get really dry. My face gets really dry too. I don't know, it's bad. Moisturize, you know, simple things, hydrate. Move your body, intentional movement. This would be a good week for self-care. Okay? And self-care not only physically, but mentally, emotionally, spiritually, creatively too. And it's going to be different for different people, but I think a lot of you, it is that physical, the physical body awareness being in touch with how you feel. You know, sometimes you just gotta, it's not till you rub your neck like this or your shoulder that you realize how sore your entire body is, you know? Or it's not until somebody else touches you that you realize how sensitive your body is, or how stiff you feel, or how sore you are. You're right. So it might be a good week to stretch. I wonder if the Empress has been sitting in that position for too long now, where there's just, you know, you gotta crack your neck. I don't know if you heard that. You gotta pay attention to how we feel. Okay, so I think this is a very important reading for all of us. A lot of cards here are kind of, you know, speaking a lot of the same messages. I think that the Empress here is also a card that talks about family and being in charge, being kind of, you know, being the head of the family. If you kind of feel like, regardless of your gender or whatever, I feel like you're mothering things in your life. You're trying to bring the flock together and kind of like nurture everybody, keep everybody safe. Maybe it's at work, maybe it's at home, maybe it's at school, friends, family, whatever, your pets, your plants. I feel like, I kind of feel like there's like a mother hen energy, you know? And I feel like for a lot of you, it is your kind of role right now to take care of something. Yeah. And I think that, and maybe it's pets, maybe you have a new animal in your life. But I feel that there's a strong sense of family, and I feel like you kind of feel responsible for keeping that family together, keeping the unit whole, yeah. The Eight of Swords that we have up here, I think we're kind of overthinking things a little bit sometimes. There might be a sense of rumination for some of you. There might be an issue that we keep kind of circling back around to, that we keep thinking about the same thing over and over again. It's kind of a figure eight, you know. The more we think about something, the more we kind of feel this way about it. The more we think about it, the more we feel it. The more we feel it, the more we think about it. And we're sort of hypnotizing ourselves into a particular mood. A kind of a long, lingering feeling. It's kind of like we're waiting for something to lift. Like again, with the Universe card, we're waiting for something. Okay? And I think a lot of us are having a difficult time articulating the way we feel. Yeah. I think that there is, for a lot of us, there's something that we need to talk about that we don't know how to talk about. There's something that we keep thinking about and ruminating on. Okay? Something we keep analyzing something, or we keep going over a certain sequence of events, but we haven't yet come to a conclusion. Okay? I kind of feel like there's some unfinished business for some of you, that maybe you're not really sure what to believe about something, or there's something that you want closure about, or you want some sort of finality to it. You want there to be a conclusion, but I think that there's a kind of an awareness that you're never going to know all the information about it. Does that make sense? Because I kind of feel like the princess is searching for information, but keep coming up with the same facts. It's like the same dead end. So I don't know if you're looking for answers, but you keep coming up with the same answers, and so you're not getting that satisfaction or that conclusion that you want, that closure. Okay? So I think this week would be a good time to kind of talk about some of that with somebody. And to maybe to do something that's going to take you out of this rumination. So use that Princess of Swords energy to just get curious about something else, explore new things, and take up new skills and have conversations, to kind of take you out of your head a little bit. Okay, I think sometimes you can get a little bit stuck up there. Yeah, future position. The Lust or Strength card, beautiful card. It shows passion, okay? It shows Well, it shows, it's a sensual card, very similar to the Empress, right? But much different in form, This is, to me, feels like someone who's very stiff and someone who isn't very in touch with their body, somebody that needs a little bit of that. And then this is somebody that is, just very relaxed. And it's like, this is before the massage, this is after, you know what I mean? This is before the self-care, and this is like when you're getting that self-care in. So I feel that, this is an increase of passion, really, vitality. Okay? I feel like this is a warming energy. I feel like some of you really need like heat therapy, like a sauna, or even like a massage, something that something that is like a hot tub kind of thing, something that really warms up and loosens up your muscles and your ligaments and things. This is a card of creativity. I think a lot of you are moving into a phase of life where you're becoming more free and expressive in your creativity, where you're not as kind of prudent, right? We got prudence here, 8 of Pentacles. You're moving into a phase where you're loosening up, if that makes sense. And you're saying things that before you would have said, oh no, I can't say that. You're creating things that you would have, maybe you were just kind of, you were apprehensive about, or if you're waiting for something, it finally arrives and it gives you the freedom to just kind of let loose and just kind of, oh, okay, finally it happened. Okay, I can relax now, I kind of feel like some of you are on edge, not getting so nervous, but like almost frozen, like anticipation, waiting, suspended breath, like you're holding your breath, waiting for something. And I feel like it's gonna arrive. If you're looking for closure, you're gonna get the closure. If you're looking for that gesture from the universe, or for this, the arrival of something, whatever you're waiting for, it's going to lead to a freedom and a relaxation, and I think an openness and a flow of creativity, a flow of joy, and maybe even kind of like, I don't know, I kind of feel like making yourself at home somewhere. Yeah, this is someone like, because we're talking about the universe and kind of looking for our home and putting down roots, I feel like this is somebody that's just like, you're in your bathrobe, you got your feet up, you got your drink right on the coffee table, no coaster. It's like you've made yourself at home, you're feeling very comfortable here now. And so I like that energy for you. I think this is also a card of being able to express your emotions effectively, but in a regulated way. We're not just letting the beast like just roar and just lash out. We've tamed it a little bit. Okay? We didn't diminish it. We didn't turn the lion into a kitty cat. What we did was we tamed the lion. We made friends with it so that we can say, hey, this is what I'm feeling, and this is why I'm feeling this way, without having to like raise our voices and all that kind of stuff. I feel like this is a return of self-confidence for a lot of you. And it's that self-confidence that makes you very aware of how much power you have over your life and the direction that your life takes, okay? You're not silencing your authentic voice anymore. This is someone who's loud and proud, within reason, of course. And I think that this is, again, back to that power energy. I feel like a lot of you are learning now how much of a voice you really have and how effective your voice is, and how much authority and responsibility you really do have over your life and what your life is like and how it feels and where it's going and where you're going and everything else. This is a card of power, but it's a card of disciplined power. It's not unbridled rage and, it's refined. It's talking about discipline, okay? And so I feel that is, for a lot of you now, learning that new skill. If we're feeling bored or lost or just kind of aimless or just kind of meh, finding a new skill, allowing yourself to start out white belt level at something, having the discipline to push through that is going to feel very, very good. This is like, to me, this feels like somebody that is starting a jiu-jitsu class and is really now developing an intense power through their discipline. Discipline helps to hone your power, and that power is freedom, okay? Path of the Serpent. Your general energies, 8 of Pentacles. This is prudence and patience. This is slow and deliberate actions, okay? To me, this is, for some of you, it may feel like life is kind of repeating itself, like Groundhog's Day, day after day, yeah? And I think that we talked about some of the ways to kind of, to get around that, you know, some things that you can do to make some changes, to make life a little bit different than it has been. This is a card of cultivation, okay? I feel like you're somebody who is really attentive to the needs of other people. Like you pay attention to what your friends are doing and what they want and how they feel and what they say. Your family, your pets, you notice things. So then you're able to like do something nice for them. You can anticipate the needs of others. And so you've already got something for them when they get home that's already waiting for them, you know. And I feel that this is, with the Empress, this is a lot of external cultivation. And I kind of feel like you want somebody to pay attention to you a little bit more, yeah? I think, some of you are feeling a little bit unseen by the people in your life. And I think that you're sort of speaking up about that, and you're doing something to change that aspect of life. And maybe it even is like, we're not waiting for other people to notice us. We're just going to do what we want to do, and we're going to feel ourselves. You know, we're going to do us for a while. I feel like a lot of you are very patient, but sometimes you can be too patient, right? Sometimes you can wait too long for something, kind of with that very, I don't know, I kind of feel like we're just kind of sitting very properly with our hands folded, and we're just saying, well, when it's my turn, they will let me know. It's like someone who might sit at the doctor's office and they had an appointment at 2 o'clock, and here it is 4:30, and well, when it's my turn, they'll come and get me, you know, so we wait. Well, how long are you supposed to wait? There's a sign on the desk that says, if you've been here more than 20 minutes, let us know, right? But we're just, no, I'm going to be patient, yeah. So patience is a virtue, yes, but I think too much of anything, you know, is not going to be a good thing. I think we can overdo that patience, because sometimes patience is, you know, we're tolerating too much from other people, and we need to have a boundary, okay? I think that a lot of you are a resource for other people in your life, and I think there needs to be a boundary there. There needs to be a limit. You know, sometimes I see this as the apple tree, and you're the apple tree, and the people in your life, they think they can just come by anytime they want and have an apple. You need to make sure that you save enough for yourself, okay? Because you might be waiting for somebody to come and bring you a bunch of apples, yeah? And I feel like that's happening, though, you know? I feel like you're taking responsibility and ownership over your life, and I think that you're going to start transforming your life the way you want to, and I feel like some of what you're waiting for is going to arrive. I feel like someone is bringing you a gift, okay? And I don't know what that gift is, but I feel that a lot of you have been waiting for something. I keep getting that message. You're waiting for something, it's being presented to you, okay? And I don't know if you're waiting for the boss, or waiting for the company, or waiting for something in the mail. If you're waiting for, you know, your spouse or your partner or your best friend, maybe you're waiting for, I don't know what it could be, but it's coming, okay? But the thing is, you're not going to wait around for it. You're going to do your thing. And if it comes, When it comes, hey, that's awesome. But you're not going to you're not going to suspend your life waiting for it. Okay. The Six of Wands here, a Jupiter in Leo energy. So again, we have this idea of an increase of confidence and capability, realizing that, you can overcome a lot of challenges in your life without having to wait for somebody else to kind of do it for you. Okay, so there's kind of this taking of your power back. Yeah. The Six of Wands for a lot of you is going to be, I feel like a lot of you are involved in some kind of a fight or a struggle or some kind of a wrestling match with something right now. And I feel like there is going to be a conclusion to that there is going to be, and something is turning out in your favor, something that you've been wrestling with, okay? And it may be a kind of back and forth battle or something like this. I feel like it's gonna be decided in your favor. Some kind of a competition that you're involved with. For some of you, it might be something at work. It might be, might even be that you're like, you put in for a promotion or something like that, right? I feel like it's going to come out in your favor. Okay. This is also the card of teamwork. I think a lot of you are involved in some kind of group work or group situation. It could be family, but I feel like it needs to be, the dynamic in that group needs to be more like a team and less like you do all the work, I get all the credit, So I feel that, and maybe that's kind of what you're waiting for, part of this kind of disappointed energy. But I think this week there's going to be a restoration of some balance and some harmony in whatever group you're a part of. Okay? That there's going to be kind of maybe a team win, or there's going to be some kind of a team building event or exercise or something that's going to kind of restore a balance. Okay? And I feel that there is a win on the horizon for you. I kind of feel like it's almost like a jackpot kind of energy, It's almost that's something maybe you've been trying multiple times to do. Okay, for some of you it's going to be like it's third time's the charm kind of thing, maybe more. I feel like you've been trying to do something a few times. There's been a few iterations of it. Spirit's saying this is the time that it's going to work. Okay. This would be a good week for you to speak up. If you are part of a team, it would be a good week for you to speak up with your ideas. If this is the classroom or if this is the workplace, a good time for you to speak up and be heard. Okay? And not wait to be called upon, but to like put yourself out there and kind of raise your hand and, and be seen. Yeah. To make yourself be seen in a way. The next card that we have, the unwanted energy, is that Seven of Cups. Okay, that is a toxic energy that is really talking about a time for not only emotional kind of filtering, purging, processing, maybe a catharsis kind of thing going on. But I feel like it's also a good time for you to kind of clean out the refrigerator, maybe literally. Find out in your life what kinds of things are in your life that are not nourishing to you. Okay? To me, I always look at this card and think, there's stuff in the refrigerator that we just are not going to eat. You should not eat it. Why is it even in there? Throw it out. Compost it, but don't consume it. Okay, so I think that this is also, this is a week of really of power, of confidence, of self-care, of energy, of choices, of speaking up, and, doing a lot of these very positive things for yourself. And I think one thing is to get rid of anything in your life that's not that's not treating you kindly, that's not healthy for you. Because that's a form of self-care. Self-care is doing things for us that'll make us feel better, but also to stop doing things that are making us feel worse. Okay, so this could be some relationships. It could be some lifestyle habits that we have. Okay, it may be really, kind of trying to filter out some of those things from our life that are not nourishing to us. This card to me is also a feeling of kind of being stuck. It kind of is a card that tends toward melancholy, okay? And it's kind of a swampy feeling, kind of a stuck in the mud, kind of a quicksand feeling. And I think that it's really important right now that we acknowledge how we feel about something, yeah? And especially since we have that Five of Cups underneath here, something that you have a feeling about it. You're in your feelings over something, right? It really is important that we speak up about this, or that we acknowledge this and we identify this, but don't identify with it before it becomes a swampy, toxic kind of energy, before it really starts to affect our mood, our mental health, and our disposition. Okay. Sometimes, for a lot of you, the Seven of Cups is going to be something in your life that is masquerading as a beautiful, healthy thing, when really it is not. I feel like a lot of you are getting a kind of a red flag about something. You're able to see behind the mask of something, behind the veneer, and say, wow, that's not what I thought it was. Okay? You're able to look inside and see something's true nature and something's true colors. So look for something in your life that may be presenting itself as something very good and healthy and happy and loving and perfect. But if you look closer, you can see that there's cracks in it, that there's some kind of rot there. Okay? It's kind of like you're going to go buy a car. Well, kick the tires first. Take it for a test drive. Take it to your mechanic, because there might be more than meets the eye to something. Okay? And you certainly don't want to get stuck or trapped in something that you could have avoided. So that's all. I'm not saying that it's guaranteed to be toxic, but just check it thoroughly first. Okay? Make sure the chicken's cooked all the way through, that sort of thing. Okay? No cross-contamination. If you have any doubts about it, if you have a doubt, throw it out. Like you're in your fridge, right? If you got a question, if you got any doubt, no. Yeah. Trust that intuition. If something seems too good to be true, or something seems perfect, or someone's trying to sell you something and saying, this is perfect, this is what you want, there's nothing wrong with this, right? Maybe that's when you should look at it more closely. Okay? Don't accept everything at face value right now, okay? Now, the Ace of Pentacles at the end, that to me feels like a gift from the universe. It feels like it is a ticket to ride. It feels like it's an opportunity coming your way, or it is a gift. It is a reward. It's a token of appreciation. It is maybe a financial opportunity for some of you. This is going to be that promotion that you've been waiting for. This is going to be the check that's in the mail. This is going to be the acknowledgement from somebody that you've been kind of like, you've been waiting for them to say something, or, this is even the gold medal for whatever that win is. Okay, and I think it's important that you speak up and you take credit for your role. And don't let somebody else, kind of take that from you. Okay? You be tactful, of course. But don't let anybody kind of claim the credit for what you did this week. Yeah. I think a lot of you, this is going to be the beginning of kind of putting those roots down. Okay? If you're looking for the thing, if you're looking for your forever home, or that job, or that career that you really you want to settle down into it, I feel like this is the beginning of that. Okay? This is that energy now coming in, and we're starting on that road. It's not saying that suddenly your forever home is going to be here, in the next 7 days. No. But I feel like this is you on the trail to that. Okay? So this is going to be a very, very important beginning of something. Let's look at the mystery card, yeah. I don't know what this is going to be. I feel like we had a lot of different kind of energies here. I feel like it's going to be a 6 of something. I feel like there's going to be more harmony. We might get like a 10 of cups, 10 of pentacles. Yeah. If you have a prediction, please put it in the comments. Let's see. The Lovers. Well, Gemini, this is you. This is Spirit kind of saying, you know what, it's Gemini o'clock right now. This is a time for you to do you. This is a time for you to take care of you. And I think once you do, then you'll see that a lot of the good stuff is going to start coming into your life too. Okay? You've got to choose you. You've got to choose everything. You've got to make choices, basically, right? For a lot of you, this is you now choosing to rely on yourself. Choosing not to base your self-worth on, or your happiness, or your confidence on what somebody else may or may not do, or give to you, or return to you, or reciprocate, okay? This is a choice. The Lover's card is always a choice. This is a choice that says, heck yes, 1,000%. You're saying, heck yes, 1,000% to yourself, to your health, to your well-being, to your creativity, to your self-love, self-acceptance. Okay? I think you're also, when this comes in, whatever this is going to be for you, this is something that you're going to want to say, heck yes, 1,000% to. Make sure you check it through thoroughly before you commit to it. But if it checks out, commit 1,000%. Okay? And this is going to be that union that you've been looking for. This is going to be, because remember here we said that feels like we're just getting further away from the goal. There's like a separation anxiety here, right? But the Gemini card, the Lover's card, is a card of union. So I feel like we have the perfect balance to this. This is the expanding universe. We're getting further and further apart. This is now we're getting closer and closer together. So I feel like this is the turning point. Some of you may be feeling a distance between you and your lover or your best friend or your kids or something like this, or your dog. This is the moment where that energy starts to now, we've kind of reached the longest distance, and now things are going to start coming back together. Okay? So we're on the return path of union. Yeah, and I think that's being said for a lot of you. That's what the Ace of Pentacles is going to be signifying, okay? A return to union. We've gotten as far away from it as we could, and now it's time to come back to it. So, it could be that there's been distance between you and your sense of purpose, you and yourself, higher self, spirit, you and your community, you and your friends, or your lover, or your kids, or your dog, or whatever, right? And now that unity is coming back in. Okay, and if this is something like the house or the car or the job or that relationship that you're looking for, this is going to be your commitment to that path. I don't know that you're going to find that soulmate person this week, but this is you committing to, perhaps committing to not waiting for it, but to going out there and looking for it and finding it and manifesting it. Yeah. A lot of really, really good energies for you this week, Gemini. I want to thank you for being here. We're going to do an extended reading as well. We'll do an I Ching hexagram. We'll do some oracle cards. There's a link in the corner. There's a link down below. New readings for Gemini Wednesdays and Sundays. Be sure to watch both readings. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Leave a comment. Let me know where in the world you are watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you, and we are all in this together.